If you're working with a short foam roller, we're aiming for mid-back up to our head. If you have a long foam roller, then you're going to be doing from your hips all the way up to your head. So whatever you're working with, towel, foam roller, make sure you have your head all the way down to as far as your prop will go. And then we're going to allow our arms to relax out. So for those of you using towels, you're rolling up your towel the longest way that you can roll it up and still have some height. We're just taking a moment to hold here, letting our upper body soften over our props. Noticing as we open up the front of our body that we begin to let our ribs open. We find our shoulders opening. We keep our head in line with our spine. And begin to rock side to side if you're on a foam roller. You could try it on a towel, but the towel will not move as well, but just try and rock side to side a little bit. The movement is meant to be small. It's not meant to be very big. We're just kind of stretching our muscles along our spine. And then come back to center. We're gonna roll off of our prop and then release it from behind us as we come to lying down on the ground. As we find lying down on the ground, our knees are bent, allowing our body to soften for a moment into a neutral position. Now from this position, let's begin to extend our legs. And then I want you to grab a hold of your block and we're gonna place it between our legs, just above our knees. Letting our palms still face up, upper body relaxed. I want you to point your toes up to the ceiling and then applying about 20% effort. So not a lot of effort, just a little bit. I want you to push your heels into the ground and then pull them back towards your hips. And this should be just enough to start to bend our knees. And then I want you to gently squeeze the block, about 20% effort, not a lot. And then releasing the block, let it your grip soften. Slowly lower our legs down. And we're going to begin to do this as a flow, as a movement. So again, pressing the heels, pulling them back towards our hips where we start to bend our knees just a little bit. And then gently squeeze the block, about 20% effort. And then releasing the block and lowering our knees down. We're looking for a smooth effort. And again, pressing our heels, pulling them back, squeezing the block, and then releasing the block and releasing our legs, our heels. And then again, pressing heels, pulling them back, squeezing the block, and then slowly release the block and release our heels, our legs, let them soften. And then one more time, pressing our heels, pulling them back, bending our knees, squeezing the block. And then slowly releasing the block and releasing our legs. Let them soften and relax. Bend our knees. Roll over to one side. Press ourselves up. Place our block off to the side. We're going to take our prop, either our foam roller or our towel, and place it behind us horizontally so that it's facing the opposite direction of our spine. And then we're going to slide it in towards us or slide ourselves back to our prop. Lowering down onto our prop, we're finding mid-back on the foam roller on our prop, whatever we're using. Knees are bent. And then hands are going to come behind our head. Now make sure that you're above your lumbar area of your spine, so that inward curve that is behind our belly button. We want to make sure that we're above that. And our prop is not going to be moving. We're going to be moving our upper body over the prop. So on our next inhale, I want you to slowly lower your shoulders down just a tiny bit. And then exhale, lift them back up. Inhale, lower back, tiny bit. Exhale, come back up. So we're not finding a big movement. We're starting off slow and small, and then we can expand upon that movement only when our spine is ready. And lower down and lift up. And I want you to play around with it. And as you play around with it, again, honoring our body, moving only with a place that involves strength through the core and gentle movement through the spine. And coming up and holding. We're going to lift our hips, scoot down a little bit away from our foam roller or our prop so that the prop is up a little bit higher in our spine. Not a lot, just a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing. And as we move up our spine, we're going to find that the movement starts to lessen a little bit. Or maybe for you, the movement's a little bit bigger. So just kind of listen. We're just finding movement that's successful without pain or discomfort. Moving from our belly, our core, and then come back up, and we're going to scoot ourselves down a little bit more. Any way that feels good for you. We're just moving our prop up our spine a little bit. So we're just about mid shoulder blade here, or the base of our shoulder blade. When you're ready, lean back, open up, and come back up, moving only in a way that honors your body. Moving slowly so you can hear discomfort before it turns into pain. Coming back up and holding. We're going to take our hands to our elbows to our props, hands to the floor, whatever works best for you. And then we're going to come up. Releasing our prop off to the side. And then we're going to roll back down onto our back. Drawing our knees into our chest, give them a hug. Rock side to side, finding core engagement. Bringing our bodies back to center. Let's extend our right leg forward, lower it all the way down to the floor. And then switching legs, drawing our right leg in, left leg forward, lower it all the way down. And bringing our left leg back into our chest. Hugging both legs in. Then release our feet down to the mat. We're going to grab a hold of either our towel or our block, whatever we choose. It's going to go underneath our hips to elevate our hips just a little bit. So a towel is going to give you a little less movement, and a block is going to give you a little bit more. So we're going to place it underneath the hips, not the low back. And what we're going to be doing is extending our leg forward to stretch across the front of our hip. So that'll help you decide which prop works best for you. So once you get your prop underneath your hip, I want you to draw your knees towards your chest. Adjust your body for your knees to chest pose. Let your arms relax out. Now from this position, extend our right leg, hold on to our left knee and let our right leg come forward. We're stretching across the front of our right hip. Bringing our right knee back in. Extend our left leg forward, holding on to our right knee. Let our hips tip forward a little bit. Keeping our belly hugged in, we're supporting our low back. Then lifting our left leg up, draw our knee into our chest. Bring our arms back out to our side as we let our legs soften in towards our chest. Extending our legs up to the ceiling. We're stacking our legs over our hips. Now we're going to draw our right leg forward, left leg back. And now our focus is going to be our hamstring, the back of our thigh. And then slowly lift our legs back up. Right leg comes back, left leg forward. And we're finding that delicate balance with our hips on our prop, where we can use our core to stabilize our low back. And bring both legs up. We're going to take our left leg back at a 45-degree angle, right leg forward at a 45-degree angle, and hold. Now we're stretching across the front of our right hip and the inside of our left leg. And lift our legs back up. Right leg back, left leg forward at a 45-degree angle. So not straight forward, not out to the side, halfway in between. And bring it back up. And then bend our knees so that our shins are about parallel to the ceiling. Knees are stacked over our hips, so our belly is engaged to support our back. And we're taking our knees wide. Bring your elbows into your side, lift your hands up to support your legs, but keep your elbows on the floor so that you don't have to work through the shoulders a lot. And then you have the option of extending your legs a little bit or a lot. Keep the tailbone pressing down, belly hugged in. And slowly lift our legs back up to the ceiling. Right leg comes back, left leg comes forward. Slowly sweep out to that 45 degrees. And then slowly sweep out to the side. And then sweeping the other direction. So left leg's coming towards our body and right leg is moving away. And then we're going to reverse. Take our legs out to the side, nice and slow. Bringing our right leg back, left leg forward. And then we're going to switch again. Keeping our movement slow and controlled while we stabilize our hips. And switch again. Slow and controlled. Remembering shaking is okay. And reverse. And bring both legs up. Draw our knees into our chest. Let our props support our hips, lengthen our low back. Let them soften our belly. And releasing our feet down to the floor. Release our props out from underneath our hips. Lower our hips down. Walking our feet out wider than hip width distance apart. And then rock our knees side to side slowly. We're giving a gentle massage to the back of our hips. Bringing our knees back up in center. Walk our feet back in. Either roll over to one side or rock forward and back. We're going to come up to standing. As we find standing, feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale, sweep our hands up. Exhale, hinge forward from our hips and fold. Let our head hang, neck and shoulders relax. And then step our right foot back halfway. Put our heel on the floor. Toes are generally speaking pointed forward. Your right toes can turn out a little bit if that feels good for you. Hands can come to blocks or the floor, whatever feels right for your body. And let our upper body hang over our front leg. Front leg is attempting to straighten to what feels good for you. Bending our front knee, walk our hands forward a little bit, step forward and fold. Step our left foot back halfway. Feet remain hip width distance apart. Toes, generally speaking, are pointed forward, but they can turn out a little bit if that feels good for your hip. Straighten our front leg to what feels good for you. Fold over your front leg. Bending our front knee, walk our hands forward a little bit, step forward and fold. And walk both feet back. Lower down onto our bellies. Slide our hands underneath our forehead and pause. Softening our head, our neck, our upper back. Very slowly begin to lift our feet. Draw our heels towards our glutes. Make sure there's no pain or discomfort. Softening the front of our thighs. Then begin to rock our feet side to side, moving in the same direction. You can slide one foot down the inside of your other shin. This helps you keep your knees in. Bringing our feet back to center. Releasing our feet down to the floor. Slide our hands to the side of our ribs. On our next inhale, lift our chest. Turning our gaze forward. Hugging our elbows in tight. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Continue to flow. Option to extend our hands out, coming onto fingertips. And come all the way back down, sliding our hands underneath our forehead. On our next inhale, press our tailbone down, create space in our low back, and then lift our head and our hands. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower. Tailbone is still pressing down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. One more time. And relax. On our next inhale, lifting our head, tailbone's pressing down. Exhale, turn our chest to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn our chest to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower. Soften and relax. Sliding our hands around to the side of our chest. Hug our bellies in, press up and back to child's pose. Walking our hands in underneath our shoulders. Press our hands into the floor, rise up, crawl forward, and we're going to flip over onto our back for Shavasana. As we move into Shavasana, choose any variation you like. If you want to find a heart opener, you can place blocks behind you. You can use your foam roller. If you'd like to support your neck, you can use your towel or a foam roller or something smaller, maybe a rolled up mat underneath your neck to help support that. So whatever you're choosing for your body today, let's begin to move into it. If you'd like to choose more than one, you can do that as well. Begin to draw our awareness back to the position that we created. Notice how it's serving us. Let's begin to bend our knees. If we remove any props from underneath our head, neck, shoulders. And then gently roll over to our right side. Keeping our eyes closed, let's press ourselves up. Rising up tall through our spine, noticing how we feel. And then bringing our hands together in front of our hearts, feeling in all that we learned about our bodies today. Place it as a gift that we can take off of our mat and continue to use as we move through our bodies through the rest of our day. Namaste.